I have been flying FPV quads for 2 years now, and in this 2 years time, FPV has taught me so many things. Number one, I can now solder. Number two, I can print my own 3D printed parts with the 3D printer. Number three, I can now climb up the tree to recover my quad when I crash. Whoa. And let's do this next time. And number four, I can now create better and better YouTube content for you guys to enjoy and watch.
You see, I so hardworking do video, but I do video you watch. You watch already, you never subscribe. You no subscribe, I said I don't do video. I no do video, you nothing to watch. You nothing to watch, you not happy. So if you want I happy, you happy, be my buddy and subscribe, okay? Remember that. Now let's get back to the video.
Throughout my 2 years of flying FPV, I have always been flying digital right from the start, except for my Tinywhoops, which I prefer to fly them in analog over digital. But a 5-inch Freestyle FPV quad, it is a totally different beast because it is so much faster than a Tinywhoop. And looking at all the OG pilot, all the amazing pilot that comes before digital, I want to learn something new with you today. Is analog still the king in 2026? Or am I just wasting my time building a 5-inch analog quad in 2026 when there is so many digital systems? Let's learn it together. We have both a 5-inch Freestyle quad with us. This is digital and this is analog. So what makes them different? The major difference is of course going to be the video transmission system, which we call it the VTX. The often used VTX is going to be DJI on the digital system. Of course, there is still Voxnil or HD0, but most often people are using DJI for digital just because it is still the best right now. As for the analog, we are using an analog VTX. There is different and various brand out there. The one that I'm using today is the Rush Tank Solo. Now with different video transmission system, we will also need to use a different goggles. This is a digital goggles from DJI, the Goggles 2, and this is an analog goggles from Skyzone, the O4X V2. And the third difference is what you are looking at through the lenses from these goggles.
This is what you're gonna be looking at if you're wearing your digital goggles. Everything looks super sharp, super clear. And if you are flying at the correct angle, you might even be able to look at your own nostril hair. But I do not advise anyone to do so unless you want to die.
Oh, fuck my face!
And this is what you're looking at when you fly analog. So while you're missing your grandparents, do fly analog because that will remind you of them. But sometimes the signal gets so bad that you can't see shit and then you don't die, but your quad die.
Now that we have known the difference in gears and parts on the digital and analog quad, let's look at the part that some might be able to feel it like professional racers and some like myself that can't really feel it, which is latency. And what is latency? Latency is the amount of time that the video gets transmitted from the FPV quad to your goggles. Now on the analog quad, it is often lower latency than a digital quad. And with lower latency, that means you have faster reaction time on the sticks. That means you see and then you react. You see and then you react. That will help you to avoid crashing. But is this really true for a freestyle pilot? And on an analog video system, we will take a look at it right after we talk more about the build on this analog quad. So let's head back to the bench before we come back here again to start flying.
Now for the frame, we are going to be using the Flyfish RC Volado VX5 V2, my most trustable frame. As for the stack, we are using the F405 from SpeedyB themselves, and in here we have a 55M ESC. For the antenna, we are using the Cherry 2 from Rush FPV to pair with their Tank Solo VTX. As for the camera, we are using the Foxeer T-Rex Micro, which is highly recommended by many other pilots out there. As for the models, these are some leftover that I have with me. This is the Axis Flying AE2207 1960 kV models. Now, I'm not going to be sharing with you guys the full build video because it's going to be super long. But if you're interested in learning how to build the Flyfish RC Volado VX5 V2, I've got a different video here for you to check out later. That was my first 5-inch build and it was difficult. Anyway, I would also like to take this opportunity here to thank CNHL for supporting this particular content. I do appreciate you guys a lot because I know that this content has got nothing to do with your lipos, but when I emailed them, they immediately replied yes. So yeah, you have my utmost respect for supporting creators like myself as well as the FPV community. So if you are looking for lipos, do check out the range of lipos that they have for you in their website. I'll leave down their link in the description below as well. As for myself, I've been flying the Speedy Pizza Pro as well as the Speedy Pizza V2. And if you want to check out the review on the CNHL lipos, I'll also have this particular content here for you to check out after this content. So again, thank you very much CNHL for your support. I will continue to push myself harder for you guys as well as for all of you, my buddies. Let's get back to the flying now. Now, before we start the flight, I've actually set the VTX power to its max output, which is 1 watt on the Rush FPV Tank Solo VTX. But as you can see here, I'm still getting a lot of interference or video breakup issue that I did not have during my maiden flight at a much more open area, and the video quality was much better comparing to what you are seeing here. So I'm assuming it is because of this particular location where I am surrounded with a lot of metal sheets. But my buddies, if you have got any advice on how I can improve the video quality or the video feed on this quad itself, please let me know in the comment section below. I will really appreciate your effort and your kind advice. As for the flying experience with the analog quad over digital, I can't really tell you guys yet because this is still at the early stage of me testing out analog quad over digital quad. But the one thing that I can say is I cannot feel the difference in the latency that I am getting, and the only thing that I was really focusing on was really on the visual that I'm getting because I can't really fly when I am blind. So here comes the question, my buddies: lower latency or better visual? For myself, I will pick better visual just because during this flight or the rest of the other flights that I've had before, I was always asking myself this question: is that a branch in front of me? And I'm totally focused on how to fly or how to avoid obstacle rather than trying to feel, is analog giving me a better reaction time on the stick itself. Here is an example of the Ghost Branch versus analog quad, and you guessed it right, the Ghost Branch won and I got kicked like damn far away.
Let's move straight to the digital ones before it starts to pour. Wow! Everything is so clear. It's 4K. Oh, I can see the plastic bag. Wow! Oh fuck!
So yeah, that was how happy I am when I switched back to digital because everything seems to be so clear, or maybe I could have avoided that little bump you saw earlier if I am flying analog. What do you think? But overall, this flight, I think I pretty much did enjoy myself. I can actually focus on what freestyle maneuver I want to do rather than focusing on if I am about to crash into anything that I cannot see. And that kind of boosts my confidence in close proximity flying. I can actually fly nearer to the subject that I'm passing through, or I can go through these gaps without worrying that there are something else blocking the path. Now, before we end the flight, I thought of showing you guys the ghost branch that I crashed into earlier with the analog quad, but then this ghost branch here again surprised me and came out of nowhere, but I managed to avoid it just because I can see it much clearer. I think if I were to fly the analog quad, I would have crashed into it already. So yeah, this is why I say I still prefer to fly digital over analog as of this time of recording the content. So let's end the flight right now and I'll let you guys know what is my conclusion.
Is analog still the king in 2026? For some pilot, it might be, especially among professional FPV racers, because they often fly in a more controlled environment where there are no ghost branch that comes out to grab their quad. And they are so familiar with the track, they can actually fly it blindly. That is the word, blindly. As for myself, I still prefer to fly digital over analog just because it has got clearer vision and I am not afraid of ghost branch since I can see them clearly before it comes up to grab me like what happened earlier. But what about you? Are you gonna try analog in 2026 or are you gonna just stick with digital? But do not get me wrong, I am still gonna challenge myself in this 30 days challenge, learning more about the analog world of FPV. So if you wanna join me in this journey, please remember to subscribe to the channel and also turn on the notification bell for all these future contents, and I will see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching and bye bye.